Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your Lunar Eclipse in Aquarius special with me, Raphael.rey from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, this is going to be the one that really wakes us all up, and it's going to be really intense because of the energies and the combination of energies that's taking place. This will see us feeling really heightened in our emotions. We'll be deeply in our feelings, and they'll be really close to the surface, and they'll be there for everybody collectively and separately. So try and keep that in mind as you progress and move forward. So my Saggies, this will be taking place in your third house. Now the lunar eclipse is about a point of culmination. It's a completion or an ending of some sort. And the lunar eclipse is also a reset button. It allows us to reset something in our lives. It allows us the space to bring something new in by allowing something to be released or to be let go. Mars retrograde, your energy, your passion, your drive is going, Mars doesn't like to go retrograde. Mars wants to be moving forward. It's about forward progression. It's about dynamic energy and moving forward. When that's going retrograde, it tends to internalize that energy. It asks you to ask yourself, how can I be more strategic and more precise? How can I really hone my focus in so that my actions are conscious? And what it does is it allows you to prepare for when Mars goes direct, so that you can really take off like a, like a lightning bolt, just go, because you've already got all the plans in. You've planned several steps ahead, because that gives you the strategicness, like a chess player. So when Mars goes direct, you can just start running like, literally like Usain Bolt, because you can already see the things that might come at you to trip you up, because you're already thinking that far ahead. And now you've got all of this energy behind you to finally just push forward and move forward with something. So then as if those two, conjunct wasn't enough, you've then got this, the South Node, which is about karmic release. The South Node transits, a specific sign like let's say you have a nodal return every 19 to 20 years. So we only get, 2, 3, sometimes 4 in a lifetime, depending on, on your personal circumstances and how it works. So this is a fairly rare event in our lives, and it's going to be conjunct the Mars retrograde. This to me feels like a deeply eliminative energy. It's going to allow you to really cut something off or stamp something out. It's going to allow you to really let go of and release something for your highest good. Now, when you have the eclipse in your third house, this is going to see you laying to rest or even reach in a space of understanding of the story that you have told in relation to who you are. So in your third house, we see communication, short trips, siblings. It's what you say, it's your communication style, it's the everyday conversations and communications that you have, it's your social media presence and interaction. It's all of those things, because it's ruled by, the third house is actually ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is the social butterfly, always talking, always got something new to learn and to teach and all of that stuff, and it's really, really wonderful. And with a lunar eclipse in that space and this eliminative energy, it can see you really looking at your communication style, how you say what you've got to say, how you come across when you do speak. It can also see your listening skills go through the roof, because we've got the retrograde of Mars, which is internalizing that energy. So you might be less inclined to speak and more inclined to listen. You might be more inclined to really take on board and understand the subtleties in people's communications, and that in that way it can actually see you anticipating what people are going to say. It can see you almost being like precognitive in a way, because you're able to anticipate the communication. It's like you can see this stuff well in advance. If we always come from the same point of reference in the story that we associate to ourselves, that's how we undoubtedly create, and it's also the frame of reference that people view us from. And that's a really interesting point. So what you communicate about yourself and how you talk about yourself and the style that you use to communicate says a lot about who you are. And if people can see that from, if people have that, specific point of reference for you, that's all that they can interact with you on or from or for. And you know, one of the ways my friend, I got a really dear friend, and she always says to me, you know, I have different types of friends because I have to. You know, she can't necessarily talk about the depth of life and the universe and all the rest of it with the school mums, because not all of them are in that place. But vice versa, she couldn't talk about, you know, changing nappies and whatever with people that, you know, and it's about who you communicate with, what you communicate them to them or with them about, and how, you know, and finding the difference between the two. This also rules neighbours, it also rules short trips. This could see you having to take a short trip, one that is unplanned, because you've got the square to Uranus there, which is bringing in that really sort of surprise, revolutionary, you know, changeable energy. But because there is a square between them and they're having this kind of, you know, push and pull, it can also see you having some really surprising conversations, especially at your work, about what you do. It could see you finally culminate in a specific project as well that you've been working on behind the scenes, something that talks about your message that you have for the world. And when you talk about your message that you have for the world, this could be a piece of work that you've worked on really hard behind the scenes that you're now ready to kind of release onto and into the world. You know, you're literally about to give birth to this thing. Now, if you find yourself holding back, if you find yourself sort of hesitating with letting it go, obviously a part of that's going to be all of this energy that's taking place. But I think a part of it's going to be about you wanting to protect your work and make sure that actually you are given the credit that will be due for the amazing body or piece of work or project that you have created or put out there. That's going to be a really important thing for you, and you will feel that. You will certainly be in your feelings about it if people try to appropriate your work, and I feel sorry for anybody that does. Finally, Venus in there trining the moon could see harmonious happenings. Sometimes when I write my notes, I'm sure I don't think about how I'm going to say them. You know, Venus trining the moon can see harmonious happenings with siblings, and even bring some opportunity to discover or redeliver something of true value that ends up being of true, you know, true profit to you. It's all going to be about perspective for you guys. It's going to be, you know, it will see you really looking at communication, what communication is, you know, studying it. Some of you might even decide to delve into NLP, you know, and things like that. It can see you really looking outside the box and asking yourself about communication, what you say and how you say it, and, you know, all of those things. And like I said, for some of you, this could be surprise travel with work or for ideas or projects as well. And see you having really surprising, you know, conversations in those arenas. The Tarot's message for you, the Magician, beautiful. Your words, more than anybody else's in the zodiac for this lunar eclipse, because of this placement and especially with this card, your words are spells, your words are magic. The things that you speak into the world will be things that you speak into existence. Keep your words kind, as your tarot reading for August has already told you to do. Keep your words astute. Make sure that you present your best foot forward. The Magician card reminds you that you have so much more power than you even are aware of, and it gives that power squarely to you. It gives you the ability to create anything that you wish to manifest. Also worth noting as well, the Magician in the traditional tarot comes with a Mobius veil above his head. And that talks about karma, karmic release. What is it that you truly want to let go of, and how is it that you truly want to communicate? And the interesting thing as well, the Magician card is ruled by Mercury, communication. You know, what is it that you truly want and need and have to contribute to the world in your communications? And what is your story now? Who do you identify as, and more importantly, what do you want your new point of reference to be when people communicate anything to do with, for, or about you? I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. Have a great transit. Let me know how it plays out for you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I would be eternally grateful for it. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the notification button so that you get notified whenever there are new videos up. if you want to reach me for a personal tarot reading, you can do so on the email address below. Don't forget to check out the Key to the Eclipses video and the first of the Retrogradia special that is up. The Retrogradia is a mini series that I put together, and there are still 2 more parts to come. Enjoy, and I will see you very soon.